Okay, so I'm here to also talk about being somebody who got 2 degrees in university. So I got a degree in information systems plus another degree in accounting. I'm gonna be honest, I absolutely hated accounting, but I also don't blame anybody for me doing it because my parents, unlike a lot of other Asian parents, did not force me down this route. We just decided to choose it because it was placed very high in the country at my school, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So yeah, and even there got to a point where my dad was like, dude, like if you don't like this, you can literally switch your major to something else that you enjoy more. But I was like, no, dad, like I'm already in my junior year. I don't want to switch. I don't have time for this. And they're paying for my degree, right? I don't want to uh, take more time and also had to have them pay for more. So yeah, I ended up going through with something that I didn't end up liking, and then I went into a corporate job. That yeah, it was paying pretty well for, I would say, entry level and the area that I'm in. Um, but to say that I was suffering was an understatement. Like I wasn't being like abused or like bullied or stuff like some of those like crazy ass stories that you might be hearing. But it was terrible. Like let's just say I had a manager and she would, whenever I had a question or a concern, she would just gaslight me and say, "Well, the reason is because of you." Yada. It would always go back to the problem being me. And then when I said I didn't like, if I don't understand this, like I feel like I'm not really being guided as to how to do it. She's like, "Well, if you don't know, then you just Google it," and that works to a certain extent. But also, I'm not exactly being hired to do things that are easily Googleable. That's not a word, but like there's like certain things that you can Google, right? But like there's another, you cannot just Google how to do a lead sheet for like a certain confidential client that you have. So yeah, I went into that, right? But it was high paying enough. And but what came with the price was that the price that came with it was that my sister said that whenever I came home and she saw me, I literally just straight up went to watching TV and I was like a ghost. And as you can tell from my video and just like people who know me in real life, I am energetic as frick. So to have me be acting like a ghost, something crazy had to happen happening. And I basically got laid off within less than a year into the job, because this stupid company decided to sell out to private equity so that they can screw over everybody working at their firm. And yeah, so I was given some interesting feedback because I was concerned about why I wasn't being staffed on projects, and the feedback I received was just the most heinous stuff you should not be saying in a professional setting. As much as I could show it, like I'm too lazy to find the screenshot, but I'll just put it this way: just mostly talking about all of my inadequacies, and some of them were like straight up so dramatic, like what my shirt says, where it was like, "This didn't even happen. Why are you making stuff up?" Yeah, so that happened, and then I went on an exchange year in China after I got laid off because I had not been able to go thanks to COVID during my undergraduate semester. Um, and that had to happen, the best decision of my life. So even though after that year ended, I came back to the US with crippling unemployment, worse than before I left, which I had left thinking that, oh, maybe it could get slightly better. No, it only got worse. So that's great. And because of my not my inability, just because of this job market's inability to not act like a war zone, I could not find something. I was actually in the middle of being hired for a corporate position, and I like made it through every single round of the interviews. So I was like, oh, I definitely got the job. Joke's on me, I did not get the job. So yeah, thanks for wasting a month of my life thanks to that company. Um, but every door that closes, right, leads to something that is maybe more meant for you. And the year that I decided to go abroad, right, the door that was closed was the semester that happened during COVID. Because that was 3 years before I went abroad. And had I not done that, I would not have known that I actually am interested in music and therefore want to do something in music, even though obviously I'm not going to be earning anything from it until I can eventually reach a point of probably some sort of fame where there's a like loyal enough fan base for me to have tours and like merch and all that stuff, right? I know that it will happen, but just not the it's not happening yet. And I was supposed to wear my shirt that says Delulu, but I forgot to change. So here's my dramatic shirt, even though I wanted to wear my Delulu shirt. But okay, I should get more to the point of now my job that I have, which is I have two. So they're both part time. One is at the mall near my house, and the other one is a waitress. And I literally just started both within like 2 weeks of each other. And what's really nice about like the waitressing one is that as terrible as it is that I don't get to earn like a actual wage per hour, it comes with the freedom that I can go in whenever I want to. So I just go in whenever I have time. And what else? Oh yeah, the one that I do in the mall is retail. And what I've noticed is that there's kind of a lot of judgment coming from that. And I feel like a lot of people can relate. Like the people who, not even just the people who, like, it doesn't just include the people who got, like, let's say some prestigious degrees from some prestigious universities or whatever. And even just people who have those jobs in general. It seems like they're, like, really looked down upon. So, like, both of mine are, like, kind of minimum wage, right? Um, and the fact that I'm somebody who got, like, these 2 degrees, right? And, like, and, like, I have so many people asking, what, you just couldn't find something better? You could, shut up. Genuinely shut up. Okay? Those are better in terms of paying. I have to, let's be honest here, the corporate ones are better in terms of paying. And as somebody who wants money, I obviously would ideally have been in those, even if maybe I'm selling my soul to a certain extent. But I feel like I'm gaining a lot of important skills from being in my minimum wage jobs right now. I feel like I learned so much just from my first day of waitressing, right? And I got to talk to so many interesting people, which is what I'm really good at, being able to yap. And I mean, same goes for retail, right? I'm a customer service like associate, so I would be need to be good at yapping. And so, yeah. What was I gonna say? Uh, I just got a message. So, how should I put this? Either way, maybe don't look down upon people who are minimum wage so much because we're just trying to make it, right? A lot of the times it is what we can get, and sometimes it is what people genuinely like to do. So I don't want to keep hearing people being rude and judgmental about that stuff. I've used the word like 10 billion times now. But yeah, please be more understanding and accepting. So yeah, I think that's really all I wanted to say. This is also kind of a life update, I guess, and kind of almost my whole life story yet again. But yeah, I guess that's about it. Goodbye.